Okay, here we are in the beautiful chapel at Camp Loll. Little disappointed I didn't get it earlier in this year for you, because now in the first week of September we got all that smoke from California blowing in. It burns down every fall, but anyway, this is our chapel. Isn't it beautiful? You know, I love the Sistine Chapel. I'm a big fan of Michelangelo, and that ceiling in the Sistine Chapel where the Pope holds his Mass, that's one of the most beautiful things ever created by man. But as I like to point out to those of us who meet here, I think we had a better artist. And I'll bet you do too, if you're going to be honest about it. You know, I've told more stories here than anywhere else in the world, because this is where we hold our scout roundtables. 3 times a week I bring everybody in and we tell the stories and talk about scouting and try to keep each other safe. So I got a little story I want to share with you now from this beautiful spot. And who knows, maybe next summer I'll be up here telling more stories. Won't be as busy as we were this past. We can get it in. But I want to know how many of you hunt deer. Any deer hunters out here? Okay. Figured there would be. What's the first thing you do when you shoot a deer? Hey, that's right. First thing you do, you put a tag on it. You got to tag that deer. Everybody knows that. But that's because we've been trained over the years. Imagine what it was like the first year that they were putting tags on deer. They didn't have any television to advertise it, but it was all over the radio. In every department store you went into, every sporting goods shop, they're plastered all over the wall, the big rules. Tag your deer, shoot. It was even on the billboards driving up and down the highway. No freeways. And when you went in to get your license, that old boy, he'd fill out your license and push it across the desk to you, and then he'd put your tag down on top and he'd say, first thing you do when you got your deer is you put that tag on it. Okay, you're the boss. So there's an old boy, he's going out hunting. He's there the first day of deer season, bright and early morning sunrise. He's headed up across the side of a hill. He's on the green woody side, looking everywhere for a deer, but mostly across the narrow canyon gulf to the other side, to the south-facing slope. Sure enough, you know, he hadn't been out 15 minutes when there comes running across that slope, boing, 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 just abounding with joy. One of the biggest bucks he'd ever seen in his entire life. He lines up on that puppy, wha-boom! He rolled him right there. You've seen him roll a deer before, haven't you? Rolled that deer right there on the side of the hill. Woo! I've been out an hour, got my deer. Heads down to the bottom of that gully up the other side. He struggles on up there. He sets his rifle in this beautiful mountain ash, all golden and autumn hues, orange and gold and beautiful. And he reaches into his pocket, as he's been explained, and puts his deer tag on that deer. Then he steps back and takes a big sigh, and I'll be danged if that deer didn't jump up and bound off over the top of the hill, disappear down the other side. He was taken a little bit back, but he grabbed his rifle and he heads up on over the top of the hill. He's just starting up over the hill, and all of a sudden, wha-boom! Wha-boom! He hears 2 big shots. He gets up to the top of the ridge, looks down in there. Sure enough, there's 2 men bending over his deer about 50 yards down the hill. He heads on down there. He comes running up to him. He says, hey, back off there, buddy, back off. That's my deer. The old guy says, it's not either. It's my son's first deer. My son just shot that deer. It's his first. The old guy says, no, sir, that's my deer. Look, there's my tag right there on it. And that little boy leans over and looks at that tag and stands back and he goes, all right, by golly, fella, if you can run fast enough to tag it, you can keep it. No, this is true.